maybe, sorta, kinda. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, so Live Oaks, LTTB, bottom tier. Oh, I forgot it's tier 8 now. Pretty similar comps. You have a slightly faster comp actually. So what I would always do, particularly when you have the faster comp, I would start heading down here towards this bush, because what you want to do is sort of spot what they have sent, what they send in, and then depending on how your mediums push in here, it determines how aggressive you are on this side. But you are the fastest tank on the map, and then a lot of times you can sort of start on this sort of railway here, and then sort of fall down if you get lit. But that's always the best thing to do from this side. Looks like you're going for it. And then again, as I say many times, you should always look and see what your team is doing about 30 seconds or 60 seconds into the game. So I always like right about now, see how your mediums are coming this way? So that's good news. So you can, so I generally shade a little bit more this way, because if you get lit right now, if that light tank is far enough over here that he can actually light you, there's going to be like some area where you can get shot. If you came up just a little bit more on this inside over here, almost basically you could drive through these goalposts right there. If you don't get lit, then you can turn and come up these tracks, and if you do get lit, you're already pretty much over the other side. But just a minor detail. And then, so see how your team is moving up here, but they're not actually up here yet. And that's in large part because you're significantly faster than them. So just hang out here for a moment, because all you need to do is light the way at this point. You didn't send a lot of your team over the other side, which is fine. And he is going to blind fire in here, or you will get people blind firing in through here, so I would not necessarily sit in this area. Again, all you really need to do is light and then fall back. See how like your WZ 120 is already in there? So you could actually theoretically fire at the grill and then leave as well if you want to. Oh, there you go. Looks like you do. Oh, leave. Definitely leave. Don't hang out for a moment. Just go ahead and leave. You're not that big of a tank. And then all you really need to do is get underneath here. Like, see where this T-44 is down there? You've already got the WZ down there. So just go ahead and come around over here, help out your WZ, take out the T-44. Don't try to go over the top here. Like, see how that T-54 tried to go over the top? And that one of these guys over here shot him? Probably the PZ. Come around over where this STA is, where already you know the WZ is. Then those guys won't be able to shoot you. Well, I guess you don't have to worry about the T-44 because he's going to get one shot by your WZ. But you still don't want to go over the top here. Again, at this point now, playing these bushes is no longer that good of a deal. You're much better off coming up over here and then baiting them to either come in or sit in the back. Because if they sit in the back, then you're already can tee off on them. There's no way that you're going to pen any of these shots on any of these tanks that are in front of you right now, unless the grill comes back up. And again, as long as these guys are lit, you don't need to be up there lighting per se, right? And that's sort of the issue of playing this back here. At some point you want to come up here, and you guys know that you have to do this in a relatively smooth amount or short amount of time, because your guys are not taking any ground over on the west, which in a sense is fine as long as they don't die over there too quickly. And then see how you set a bunch of guys over there. That's not actually a very good position. Where this E5 is going is the best position, because you can play through that side very easily. Over on this side, you just basically have to crest these hills, and you're available to artillery and things like that. So coming over here is not good for any of these tanks, including yourself. You're still better off playing through here. At this point, if you feel like you're trying to get damage here or something, you're still better off going to the other side of the map. Like, let's say to this outside over here, and then shooting at this guy on the tracks, sort of thing. You're not gonna have a good time trying to peek and poke at these guys here, especially given the amount of armor that they have. The artillery did fire, so yeah, there's nothing preventing you from moving right now. And again, like, you peeking and poking is not the strength of light tanks. Like, that is not how you're gonna make your money here. So I'm not entirely sure what you think you're doing. You're lighting yourself to light guys that are already lit. If those guys weren't lit, then you can make an argument, oh, I'm lighting them so that our artillery can shoot them. But that's not the case of what you're doing. So you're basically just kind of hanging out. And again, you'd be better off coming over on this side and even just spotting for these guys as they come over here. There's zero chance of you actually penning that guy. And luckily he bounced off of you, so hey. That is not the trade you're looking for in a light tank. You're not ever thinking, hey, I'm going to go 1-for-1 with a Jag Tiger gun. And again, so I'm not entirely sure what you're doing now, but as a general rule of thumb, whenever you're not doing something as a light tank, it's because you're moving someplace else. You're not really allowing anything to develop here. You don't necessarily want to play where this E5 is playing at this point of the game, especially since you don't control this side of the map. This is not a very good position. Your guys are, again, as long as these guys are lit, your artillery theoretically gets shots on them. So you're better off just making sure that they don't lose on this side. So going where this E5 is at this point is not going to be necessarily productive for you either. You can play out underneath over here, but I'm not entirely sure what that's going to get you either, because you're not going to want to try to outduel the T-49 here. Well, and you have to be very careful about playing up on that high ground because they still have people in the back. Unfortunately, that ain't gonna work out very well for your E5. And this is not a good position for you, in part because you can get shot by this line over on that side. So you could have done this same thing much more safely from this side of the map. Uh-oh, here comes T-49. Go help your E5. Go help your E5. Go help him. Go help him. Oh, shoot the proto at this point. The T-49 is just trying to run away. There you go. See, but this is good. This is productive. You're helping your boy. And then drive away from your boy because your boy's about to get nuked. No, drive away from him. Away from him. One of you is an Artie target. It is not you. Artie is not trying to shoot you. Artie's like, I'm going to hit that E5. There's no reason for you to drive any closer to that E5. And then again, you can't take these guys on frontally, so it's not going to be a whole lot of worthwhile for you to sort of peek and poke here. You got to pick and choose your opportunities. There is a sort of soft spot to come through the back here, depending on how weak the front guys are. The IS-3's back there, but yeah. So this is not the shot you want. Again, these are extremely, extremely poor trades. The trade that you're trying to shoot at the front of that 4502B, and when you're trying to shoot at that front of that PZ7, both of those are extremely bad trades for you. This time you got punished and you got let off on the other one. Now, if what you did was just come back through here, around through his back, and then just shot him once in the back, excellent trade. That is absolutely fantastic. But trying to shoot that guy in the face, that is not the strength of your tank. There you go. You could have let that in a little more, but it's alright. And then just get safe. Get safe. There's no reason for you to try to drive this way. I wouldn't worry about the T-49. This IS-3 is no longer going to push here. Unfortunately, you have lost that other side. So what you can do is come around and play over on this side. You don't want to be anywhere near the E5. There's never any reason, ever, for a light tank to be next to a heavy tank that's in the front like that. Never. Never. Just never do it. You're never going to help that guy like that. So what you want to do is you want to vacate this area because this is not a good area. That was technically a decent shot. Certainly a lot better than the last couple shots that you took at heavies, but thumbs the brakes. So at this point, you want to allow them to come in through this. Oh man, your guys are coming out this way. Okay, now you have to turn around because you don't want your guys to push out this way because this is not a good area to push through. Just run, just run, just run, my man, just run. There's nobody else in draw, and then you can turn around and come back. Now you can turn around and come back. Now playing in this hill area might potentially be fruitful. Only because your guys are all in over here, right? They've decided that this is the game. And so you've got to see this as well and understand that your team has decided that this is where the game's going to be won or lost. So you already need to be lighting out here for these guys. You can't be behind them, just like you can't be next to that E5, right? So now playing up on this hill is a good idea. Try not to knock over every tree over here, but... Ruh-roh, a little bit too late. Then you want to just run away. Let's go back through these houses right here. Through these houses over there. Oh, through these houses, no! Well, luckily he didn't continue coming around that side. Their T-49 is over on the south, but that's not that big of a deal. You can actually come out and see, since you know that he's over here, you can actually start coming out this way. Because your FE-183 might need some help here. Don't worry about the PZ-7 at this point. This is not a good shot on the PZ-7. Look at this guy over here. Look at this guy over here. Look at this guy over here. If you're going to have a chance to win this game, you need your artillery alive. You need to kill this T-49. No, don't worry about the PZ-7. The PZ-7 is not a concern. Oh man, the grill. You could probably fire at this guy at this distance and not have a problem. Good job. Now go chase down that T-49. Go do it, my man. Do it. Chase him down before he gets to your artillery. Oh, it's too late. Chase him down. You allowed another teammate to die. No, chase him down. Chase him down. You do not want to be where you're at. Okay, now you need to be running. Now you need to be running. You can stop and aim this one if you want, because the artillery fire. Or he can stop himself. And alright, now keep moving. And then now you could theoretically come back over on this side and play through this railway again. You needed to keep that guy alive, but you can tell that you didn't, not that you didn't care, but that you didn't know that. Again, remember, a large part of this game is figuring out how can I keep the puppies alive. So again, you control all the distance here. So let's go ahead and start lighting. Again, playing through this side is going to be much better for you, because there's long open alleys that you can spot anybody else coming across here. Again, getting shots on this PZ-7 is not going to work out well for you. You're not looking to use your gun here against a lot of these tanks. So like shooting at that 4502B frontally, shooting at that PZ-7 frontally, like these are not shots that you are angling to get. You don't work really hard to get shots into the front of heavy tanks, because that's just never going to trade well for you. And again, so you're taking the worst possible route because you're going up underneath here, right? So anybody that you run into is at a short distance. You want to play high where you can see across long distances. And this is not the shot that you want, right? What you want is for the E4 to have this shot into the side of the PZ-7 and for you to be the one spotting him, not the other way around. Right? You don't want your tank destroyers spotting for your light tanks. You want your light tanks spotting for your tank destroyers. And again, coming through this area that you're coming through is not going to be a good sell, just because it's going to be very easily countered. And so again, what you should be thinking is, how do I keep this E4 alive? What can I possibly do to keep this E4 alive? And the E4 looks like he's decided that he's going to die. But that's what you're looking to create here. Lol. Get ready to run, my man. Hey, you can hide. I would hide behind this guy. Again, non-turreted tank destroyers don't do very good turning corners. This E4 could potentially come and help you. No! A little bit too far. Oh, then don't rush the shot. Again, the artillery can theoretically hit you there. You don't need to get any closer to this ISU unless he's about to turn around, right? You want to just make sure that you don't get hit by arty. Again, it's understanding what it is that you're supposed to be afraid of here. Lol. Okay, and then I would just do a quick loop back over here and then come up on this side just to see if there's anybody right there. Again, you keep driving towards your guys. That's not what you should be doing. This guy's far enough forward. You need to figure out where everything is so you can help him. Again, that's not the shot you want, but that also means that he's far enough away that you're not super worried about it. You need to see if you can get the artillery back here. Again, you're not looking to maximize your gun. Your gun is not going to win you this game. Looks like his E3 is running away. Again, you need to find that other guy if you can. Oh, there he is. And then at this distance, you're going to get lit, right? But that's why you should be playing back here. Because you can light these guys and shoot if you wanted. But you'd have to do it from a little bit further away. Oh, this is not going to end well for you. And again, let's understand the strengths and weaknesses of your tank. You could have spotted those guys and shot them from further away. But you basically waited until your E4 spotted them and then you moved in. And that ended up being a pretty significant problem for you. And unfortunately, it's gonna cost you the game. Eventually. We'll have to speed it up. But oh, E4, why you stop? Oh, E4, hit that track. Oh, he bounced. Don't worry about that guy. Oh my god. So what should this guy do right now? What do you think this guy should do? This guy might as well push the arty, right? Because he's a non-turreted tank destroyer, and force this guy to play around the house. If there, let's assume there was more time. He needs to try to track that guy when he's coming around there. But that's great. Did not work out well for him. All right. So, anyways, there were multiple issues there. So you opened the game pretty strong. Where you came over to this bush, you spotted them coming across here. That's fine, that's perfect. Your team pushed in down low, the WZ-120 did anyways, and that's fine. And you should have probably gone over there to help him with the T-44. You'll notice that T-54 that tried to push over the top ended up getting shot. And that'll happen. That's why once you control that low side, once they're sitting back here in this area over here, you can just go ahead and push down low and then be able to control that. And there's nothing that the guys up top can do. And then you tried to trade a little bit too much with your light tank. Again, I almost feel like you should pretend like the light tanks don't have guns, because you'll see players do this all the time where they'll maximize the effect of their gun, and it's just like, well, your gun kind of sucks, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're not gonna damage the front of a PZ7 with your LTTB. Like, that is not a good trade. Similarly, when you trade it with that 4502B over here, that's not a good trade. Like, that is just not gonna work. Now, if that was your absolute only option to do, sure. All right, you got nothing else. But that was not the case. And again, you could have made yourself a lot more useful. And then again, you kind of were puppy dogging on your tier 10s, which is not really necessarily helpful. If they're playing in the back, you can sort of be a little bit closer to them. But when they're already on the front line, like you hanging out with that E5 as he did his journey through the ditch, like you weren't actually helping the E5. Once they YOLO'd him with the T28 Proto and the T49, sure. But you could have done that same thing from a little bit further away. But what you really needed to do for that guy was light those guys that were coming in, light those guys that were lighting him, rather than allow him to die while you're sitting next to him. Like that's not what you're looking to do when you're playing a light tank. You want to try to find ways to keep people alive. Like when you saw that your FV-183 lost to their T-49, you have to be thinking, how do I keep my artillery alive? And you need to be looking for a lot more of those opportunities, particularly when you're in a really fast tank in the late game. All right, so if we look at the stats, Well, yeah, I mean, your team didn't do too poorly. Well, you did shoot pretty well, so you do have that going for you. Just not enough. GG. Nice try. When I say hunt down the T-49, you can still engage the T-49 from a distance, right? So what you don't want to do is exactly what you did. You don't want to stop. If the T-49 has to chase you and he is going at full speed at, let's say, 100 meters even, right? And he hits you with the derp while moving at full speed at 100 meters, that's RNG, man. There's nothing that you can do about that. But once you stop, right, you give him all the advantages. Your gun is significantly more accurate than his. Auto aim, keep him at 100 meters, shoot him the whole time. That's all there is to it. Alright, so next will be FG Fox's Leopard game. I need to get a third monitor. This is what I have determined. Which means I need to get a new desk, among other things. Alrighty, tier 10 game, no Artie. You have a slightly faster comp. Again, whenever I'm in the Leopard one, I generally spot through this area at the start, just when there's no artillery, I mean. I'll spot through this area in the start just to get an idea of what they're sending out this way. You don't need to hang out over there. You do need to be a little bit careful because once they get up over here, a little bit more forward here, they can shoot into this area. So you got to try to position these houses to cover you. But you can go look. It is really important to get some intel for your team. Something that the bat chats can do very well as well. If the bat chats move to that position, what you want to do is get set up right here, and you can get your shots of free damage. It doesn't look like the puppies are going to spot for you. Again, that is pretty common. Most puppies don't actually care about intel, despite the fact that it's really important. So you see how these guys are going to YOLO in here without any intel? What you can do is go get that intel for them by coming up over here. So you are going in blind here, and you should know that. And again, especially when you're fighting against heavier comps like this are really, really easy to spot. And again, this is not a good position for you. One of the things about this is that it can get shot from that other side pretty easily. This is not really good trades for you guys, especially since you don't know what's in the back. Apparently not a whole lot. That's the good news. And again, you still have no intel about what's behind. You just kind of figure, there's probably not that much behind. Lol. Try not to shoot your teammates. And then see how they're coming in through this side? Like, see how this bat chat's come through here and hasn't seen anything? So you need to start putting pressure through this middle. This T-57 is very, very shootable from this area, like kind of where the Kronwagen is, go a little bit south. The T-57 can get shot. You're coming out over here, and that's not going to be super helpful. Yeah, I wouldn't bother shooting any of your teammates. Again, especially in these games. If you want to yell at them after the game, sure, whatever, I don't care. But you're gonna, if you want to win the game, focus on winning the game, and then you can worry about berating your teammates. Again, this area right here is very, very, very shootable. The area that you're going to, you're basically taking these long shots on the mouse. Whereas these guys, you'll be shooting into the backs of tanks. Whenever you can shoot into the back of a tank, that's always preferable to shooting into the front of a tank. So see how these guys are all in this corner right here? See where this Kranwagen is at? He needs to be a little bit on the north side of this, but he can shoot through this alley right here into the backs of these tanks right here. And again, it's about keeping your gun active. Like you're driving around here a lot, not doing a whole lot of anything. See this T-57 coming over here through here? If you're over here, you can shoot this T-57. You've got a lot of opportunities here. You're just not doing anything. And see how this E100 is coming around on this side, so you want to keep an eye on that. You can come over, shoot that E4 in the back. Lol. Track. Hit that track, boy. Oh, that works. So their E4 was not looking at you, but he probably is now. Shoot the easy shots into the backs of tank. No. Like, you can shoot that IS-4, and I get it. But don't just shoot the guy that's closest to you. That's not always the best. In fact, whenever you're doing flanking damage, it is almost always better, unless this guy is one shot and you're going to kill him, or you're about to make him one shot, right? It is always better to shoot this back guy, to shoot this back of this T5 Type 5 Heavy, the side of the T5 Heavy. Get a shot on that guy. And for multiple reasons. The IS-4 is already looking in your direction. You don't really care so much about what the IS-4 thinks. What you care is you want to make this Type 5 Heavy rethink his life choices. You want to make this Type 5 Heavy think, man, do I got to turn? Or is this guy going to just keep shooting me in the side or the butt? Like, that's what you want to create. Shooting this guy in the front doesn't really change anything for the team. Shooting this guy makes him think, oh man, got to do something. I can't just sit here. And that's what you want to create. So same thing, you can go back now and get a shot on that Type 5, because their IS-4 is not necessarily interested in saving their Type 5. See, and you're doing it again, right? You're looking at the closest guy. This isn't even a good shot, right? Into the side drive, the sort of quarter turn drive wheel of the IS-4. You could be shooting into the back of this guy's turret right here. Like, this is an easy shot, right? This, not as easy. This, really easy. And again, it goes back to this idea that you don't even need to come out to a position where this IS-4 can shoot you in order to shoot this guy, right? So you don't need to trade even with this. You can get a free shot of damage on this guy right here and make him regret his life choices. And that's what this game should be about when you come in to get this flanky damage. Make this guy regret his life choices. So, just not a good shot. Like, let's say even if that did do damage, just not a good shot. And again, right there, not a good shot. Not a good shot. You are applying zero pressure from this side. And then now they're putting a bunch of guns over here, so now you're starting to limit your chances. You can actually come over this top a little bit and get a shot on the back of the Type 5, but that's what you really need to be looking at. Like, if these guys try to push around here, then this IS-7 can get shots into them. But like, you're not putting enough pressure on the far side, because there's, so when you look at this right now, right, if this Type 5 can't be here, then this guy can come around and get shots on the back of these guys, right? And that's what you're trying to create. And at this point, taking that shot on the mouse, hey, I got no problem with that, right? They're starting to push themselves into a flank. And so that's fine. If that's how they want to play, that's how we want to play it, right? So now you're okay, because you're shooting the guys that are shooting at your teammates. And those guys will eventually back off, and they'll give you another shot on the Type 5, particularly if you come over the top there. Well, it looks like maybe they got somebody in the back over there. Oh, it's so close. I was going to say, if you killed the mouse a little bit sooner, you'd be able to use him as a block for the IS-4 and then shoot the Type 5. Shoot the Type 5! Shoot the Type 5! Look at this guy. You've even got support coming in through here. Like, this is not a good shot. Again, we'll go back to this again. If this was an easy shot of damage where you're just like, oh yeah, he's got no armor, then alright, even then I could see that. I would still say that you should take a shot on this guy. Although at least at this point you can make the argument, well, the IS-4 can shoot me if I try to shoot the Type 5. Alright, I got you. You got me there. But you should still be shooting at this guy. And especially now that you have all these corpses to use as cover, right? You go up to any of these corpses and then pick which guy you want to shoot. Whichever guy's not looking at you, sure, whatever. Shoot that Type 5! Look at him! Look at him! He's begging for it. Why shoot into the front of a heavily armored tank when you can shoot into the back or side of a heavily armored tank? I just don't get it. Look, your T-57 is shooting him. Look, your IS-7 is shooting at him. Unfortunately, you lost your E3 because of that. And then now, the only thing you've got are the guys in the front. Alright, so that's fine. Now you've got no choice. Now it's time to probably best to relocate out over here. Because this is going to be a hard passage to get through in a light tank. I'm sorry, in a medium tank. And I don't know why you're letting this guy shoot you now. Like, why not just hide so that he doesn't get his free damage? You'll notice that he didn't feel it necessary to shoot the guy closest to him. How about you, boy? Oh, I don't think that's gonna be able to save him. Oh, he got it. Don't drive forward here. No, don't. You don't need to. Oh. So again, you know where the 50B is at. You know where these two guys are at. You're better off going all the way back out to this outside. Even if you're way over here, right? That 50B is still going to be on that one line. Like, come around over here to this area here where you can get shots on these guys, into the backs of these guys. And again, that's one of the things, especially when you're in fast tanks. They're fast. It's a very important feature of fast tanks is that they're fast. And that sounds stupid to say, but you're not taking advantage of the best feature of your tank. Well, not the best. The Leo does have a good gun, I'll give you that. Lol. See? 0.3 accuracy. I would not keep going back to this well, though. Again, you're tracing him, just let him, he's going to come back and forth between you. So he's going to allow you to get that shot. So a little bit less tracing. Unfortunately, they are pushing. Oh, the miss. And you need to get out a little bit further back here. Oh man, all those shots on that IS-4s are starting to build up now. And then see how they're moving towards you? Oh, now you're thinking about moving. Oh, look at that. Little late. Again, you've probably got better view range than all of these guys. Take him, take him, take him, take him! No, you don't want to stay there. You should have just risked the E5, the 50B. I don't understand what the rationale was there. You should have risked taking a snapshot on the 50B. You weren't. I mean, theoretically you could have ammo racked the mouse, but that was not your route of escape. And again, this was lost much earlier though, because you could have moved out here and gotten free shots into those guys rather than try to snipe at that 50B. But again, a lot of this was just target selection, just bad target selection. Especially, again, one of the important things when you actually flank into a position, target selection becomes very important. One-shot tanks are a priority, certainly, but after that, it's about pissing everybody off, and that should be your general rule of thumb when you play any tank. It's how can I piss the most people off here? How can I create the most amount of havoc for the enemy team? And a lot of times that really is just shooting people in the asses. And if you can get yourself into a position where you're consistently shooting people in the butt, two things will happen. You're going to do a lot of damage because very few tanks are very heavily armored in the butt. And two, you're going to create a lot of wrinkles in defenses because guys don't like getting shot in the butt. Like, I know it sounds, again, when you say it out loud, you go, duh, fast tanks are fast. Shooting people in the butt pisses them off. Yeah, but you don't see it people actually doing it, and I that's what I don't get. So again, you want to try to create those issues for them to make them feel that, okay, well, I have to either push here or I have to turn around. If you just allow them to be like, okay, well, I'm going to guard my side, he guards his side. No, that's not what you want. You don't want to allow one guy to guard one side and one guy to guard the other side. You want to be like, no, I want to punish the other side. I want to gang up on the guy that's the most vulnerable, not the least vulnerable. Don't fire at the guy that's closest to you just because he's closest to you. And especially there were a lot of times where you could have gotten shots on that Type 5 where nobody could have shot you because the IS-4 was not trying to protect him, right? And that would have made your life a lot easier, particularly if you kept that E3 alive. But that's just one of those things. All right. So if you look at the stats, both teams did about the same. Well, you did shoot pretty well, so you do have that going for you. Again, though, it's just, man, that target selection. Those shots on the IS-4 killed you. Killed you. That IS-4 was not game breaking. You gotta spring your team. GG though. Nice try. Alright, and so next we'll look at Malkavian's RU game, and hopefully he's not camping or playing in the back and sniping. I guess we'll see. Pretty sure we've done some Malkavian light tank games before. Good luck, sir. I might be thinking of someone else. If so, I apologize, Malkavian. Don't forget, I can always go back and look through the replay reviews and find you. Oh, I heard something. Oh, there it goes. Alright. So this is Encounter. It's pretty easy to play the RU. Again, I would play through this side to start. What you're looking to do is get shots of free damage across here early on, especially with no artillery. There's not going to be a whole lot of punishment, so there's a lot of options over here. You do want to control the 2 line because that way it removes any cap pressure. So it looks like you're going to this southeast, which is, I don't ever feel is a very good play, but you'll see a lot of puppies do it. Not that you can't win through here, it's just a lot better to win through or a lot more significant to win the game, to win the other side. In a large part because there's not going to be a whole lot that, oh my god, look for the Scorp! Ah, Scorps! Well, that's good, if those Scorps are going to get shot. And again, you need to be careful here, except for the fact that there's no artillery. You got that going for you. You can get shots on, well, it looks like the Bulldog's going to YOLO himself out of the game, so you don't got to worry about that. Don't worry about the Bulldog. At this point, if you drop spot, you can come up. So one of the nice things about these buildings right here is that you can play through them to spot their Scorps that are up there. I wouldn't really worry too much about the 1390. You're not going to get, well, depending on his positioning. That was a really high shot. But depending on his positioning, he's not going to really get that good of shots on you. You can play through this side area here because he's got to actually come around because there's this hill right here as well. Again, not that you're in a fantastic position because you can't really leave. He's also not in a fantastic position. Oh man. And again, one of the things about being right here is you can get shot from this side, so you need to be careful, which is why it's almost always better to play this hill right here, this area right here where you started when there's no artillery. And again, their scorps are up there, so you can light them through these houses as well. And again, you're not really looking to get shots here at this point. You've got a bunch of guys on this back line as well, which is typically bad, but that'll happen. And again, so doing what you just did right there, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Use these houses to cover you. They've sent a lot of their team to the other side, which is fantastic for them. This is not a good shot. And again, you never really want to risk exposing yourself like that. Like if that was a side of the AT-15 or the back of the AT-15, alright, I'm with you. But you're shooting into the front of an 1850 from like 470 meters or whatever it was. Yeah, that's not so good. Well, dim blind Scorps. Scorps actually have a pretty good base view range. That's a good shot. I have no problem with that. And again, sort of what you'll notice is the problem with where you're at right now is that you're just not really generating a whole lot. You're not really generating a whole lot of pressure on their team. I mean, you're getting some nice shots on the 1390, but that's only because he's sitting out there. Meanwhile, they're starting to win through that 2 line, which is going to cause some issues for you. The WZ-120 should be able to take care of the 1390. You just don't want to get shot by the Scorps. And that should be your concern. Like, even if you get shot by this dude over here, the whatever it was. Oh! Yeah, I don't know if this is the right thing. Oh! And then don't... See how you're driving up here? You're just like, Scorps! Shoot me, Scorps! Shoot me! Yeah, you want to try to avoid that. Oh, Scorps did not agree with you. Again, like that 1390 was not going to kill that guy, but what are you gonna do? You still got guys in the back. Again, you'll have to keep in mind that these guys right here can shoot you. Right? There's we can't see them. Can't see them through the trees, but these guys right here can shoot you. So you don't want to allow these guys to get shots on you. Again, the problem with playing where you're playing is that you can't really do a whole lot. Yes, shooting at a WZ, the front of a WZ-111 from 500 meters. When that's your shot, when that's your play, that is not a good play. Yes, you're getting all sorts of shots on him. Yes, with heat, theoretically you can pen him, but this is what you need to understand. These are not the shots you want. These are not the shots that you work hard to create, right? So basically what you're doing is wasting heat shells. Oh, and the 1390 died. The Sayed. Again, it is important to point out that you really haven't done anything for your team. That you've been here for 5 minutes and you haven't, there hasn't been a whole lot of profit for your team because of it. And that's why I always say that this area right here is just not really that useful. It's just too difficult for you to actually play a winning hand out of it. And that's why whoever wins this northwest generally wins the game. See, that would actually be a good shot. Like, if that's how the WZ-111 was facing, alright, I'm down with that shot. But now, I mean, you're just kind of taking too many long-range shots with a gun that's just not appropriate for taking long-range shots. Yes, you are a top tier, but the best feature of this tank, again, not the gun. So you can kill... You need to start putting some pressure through this side over here, because what you basically want to be able to do is you want to be able to clear out this side when they get on cap. Because you can reset the cap fairly easily. But you want to get, again, so if you were over here, then you could start getting shots down this lane over here. But you're still, there's nobody holding you in the middle right now. You're holding yourself in the middle. And again, you're just basically waiting for your team to spot things. Which is not what you want. This is not a good shot. Oh, now it's a good shot. Again, from that distance, you got to be really careful. He's not really going to light you from there, so I wouldn't worry about that. But you need to move away from where you're at. Again, the nice thing about Halluf is that there's a lot of big open areas. And what are light tanks good for? Being in big open areas. What you do not want to do is close this distance. Again, you guys haven't made any headway to clear out through this side, which is ideally what you would want to be able to do. You've just been kind of a little bit too passive here. Not enough driving for an actual light tank on a map of this size, given the way that this game has played out. You're still in the same area. You've been in the same area for a very long time. And again, you don't want to drive in between tanks. That's a... I guess the Roomba will take care of it. Again, they have somebody on cap, but you're not worried about cap. It is very, 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 very easy for you to reset the cap. Again, so you decided that you're going to push these two STIs. I don't think that that's the right thing to do. You would have been much better off helping your guys over on this side against these tanks that are more lightly armored, right? Rather than going up against the two most heavily armored tanks in this game. Well, it looks like the Scorp is trying to help you out. He's like, I'll help you out. I'll give you an easy target. Oh, it's not looking good. And again, you don't want to get lit underneath because of this, where this 4502B is. But if you were over here to help out this WZ-120, like again, for whatever reason, you'll see this a lot where people defend the spawns on encounter maps. You have to understand that the spawns have no value. They have no strategic value at all. So these STIs playing through here, so what if they win it? There's no reason for you to defend this, right? So what you want to do is you want to clear this side out where you can get these shots, right? This side was going to be eminently easier to clear than this side. You cannot fight these STIs. You just can't. And then again, you're not worried about cap. Ruh-roh. Run, my man, run! Run! Run away! Run away! No, the STI, again, there's no reason for you to try to defend this guy. Run away, my man, run away! Again, so we talk about this time and 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 time again. When you have a light tank and you're up against a heavy tank, you don't want to be closer to him. You want to be further from him. You need to be far away. You have zero advantages when you're up close, right? He's got more armor. He's got more health. He's got a better gun. These are not things that work in your favor. What does work on your favor, especially on big-ass maps like this, is being far away from this guy and from shooting him from a distance where he can do nothing. Where if he can say, I'm going to drive away, no. I'm going to drive towards him, no. You control everything when you're far away. Everything. There's zero chance. There's no reason why you should ever be close to people like this. So just drive away. And if he tries to chase you, fine. It doesn't matter. He's not. No. Why stop here? What is it that you're going to do here? You need to get away from this guy. I don't care if you have to drive all the way around over here in order to get the shot on this guy. Let this guy chase you. Found the STI. You can get a shot on this. Oh no, he's back down. Just go, my man. The STI is probably going to come back through here towards Cap because he knows that he can't actually chase you. And again, there's no reason for you to cut across through here because this guy can actually light you. Just go ahead and go through the back. You've got plenty of time. Oh, the WZ is going to YOLO. That's not so good. Don't do it, my man. Don't do it. You got plenty of time. And again, you can also shoot this guy pretty easily from this 2 line here, which is why the 2 line is important to countering the Cap because there's nothing that he could do about that. Your guy got on the Cap, so he knows that there's somebody there. So this STI is going to be coming through here, so come through here, get a shot on the 4502B to reset, and then drive away. Let's go around through right here. Just go to right here. No, no, no. Don't do this. No! No! Say it. Just get a shot. The reset. Okay, now drive away. Drive away. Just drive away. Just turn around and leave. Nothing he can do. Just turn around and leave. No, just turn around and leave and come through this way. Right? Just get away. Just get away from him. So again, what we talk about this all the time is that you want to go far away from these guys. The advantage that you have is that you've got better view range than either of them. So if you come around even over here, sure, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But you have to just peek, get your shot, and then go back, right? There shouldn't be any reason for them to cap out, right? Although they have only 1 on cap now, which means that 1 of them left. Probably the STI, I would guess. But they saw you coming this way, so they might be coming this way as well. They're both off cap. Side turret! Side turret! And then run away. Where do you run? Just go ahead and run all the way around this way. You got plenty of time. Just run away. Run away. Run away. Run away. Run away. No, not that way. Not that way. The other way. Yeah, that way. You have plenty of time. Just leave. Again, so generally speaking, he's going to turn his armor towards where you were at. This is not a good shot. Even if you had a heat shell loaded. Hess shell, I mean, if you really needed this reset, sure, but that's still not a good shot. You're much better just... You keep telling them, hey, here's where I'm at, here's where I'm at. Like, this 4502B is eventually going to catch up to you like this. Well... You're not driving away nearly enough. Again, it goes back to understand what the strength of your tank is. And then just go all the way around. Again, you have plenty of time. No, no, no. No, no, no. Just go all the way around. You have plenty of time. All the way around. All the way. All the way. Don't get close. Get far. 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 This is not the distance that you want to engage this guy at. Ugh, that's not going to end up well. Okay, so again, this stands repeating because it's really, 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 really important. You control this game. You, in your light tank, control this game. This is your map. This is your matchup. Everything shouts, you. You've got this. There's nothing. If you play this right, there is nothing that they can do. Zero. They don't have the ability to spot you. They don't have the ability to stop you. If they stay on the cap, there's nothing that they can do. You know where they are. And it's simply a matter of positioning yourself at a distance. And this is what's really, really important about light tanks, especially in the late game, is that understand that their tanks, for all intents and purposes, are blind compared to your tank. Blind. So you never want to be close to them. You're never looking to close the gap, right? You want to keep things as far away as possible. And it's incredibly important because that allows you to get shots into the backs of tanks, into the sides of tanks, even if you want to, into the tops of tanks, depending on the position that they're in. And there's nothing that they can do to stop you. The only thing that you can do is stop yourself by driving too close to them when you don't need to. There was no reason for you to get close to this STI. No reason at all. You weren't going to get a better shot by being closer to him. The only things that happen when you are close to him, like you can make the argument that, oh, well, there's only 15 seconds left. So, okay, you got to try to get into an area where you can get a shot in 15 seconds. But that's not the case. You had 4 minutes every time there's a reset. 4 minutes. That is more than enough time to do an entire circle around the entire outside of the map and then get the reset. Like, there is that much time on these types of maps. So go ahead and use that time. Get yourself a good shot. There's nothing. If they stay on the cap, there's nothing that they can do. If they try to chase you, there's very limited things that they can do. They have to sort of guess right. But if you keep them lit, there's nothing that they can do. So all of these advantages are for you. And I just, time and time again, I see light tanks do things that just completely astound me. That it's just like they're saying, I don't think the STI's gun and armor is that good. But mine is. I can stop his shots, but he won't be able to stop mine. No, that's not how these light tanks work. So don't play them like they're medium tanks, like they're heavy tanks, because they're not. That's not where you have your advantages. Okay, so in short, there were, again, not necessarily that you were going to win that game, but you could have kept them from winning. You could have not lost there by just being annoying. And it's also a good opportunity to practice just that. Practice getting shots on people where they can't do anything about it, right? If you can create those types of situations, then you're going to be more consistently successful. When you have this 4502B chasing you, when you have that STI chasing you, position yourself where you can spot him, he can't spot you. You can shoot him, but he can't shoot you, right? That's what you want to do, especially on these big open maps. So again, I'm not really a particular fan of playing through the middle like that, and you can see why. There's a lot of time that you spend there where nothing happens, and you can't really leave that effectively, and you can't really do anything that effectively. Typically, whoever wins this Northwest wins the game, which is why you want to try to whittle these guys down that move up the one line early, particularly if you can get an early track on them, which is why taking faster tanks over this 2 line is really important. And especially since on encounter mode, since the cap is down here, if they get somebody on the cap, whoever controls the 2 line, it's very easy to reset the cap. Again, defending the spawns on encounter is irrelevant. The spawns don't hold any strategic meaning. You'll see a lot of people defend it on both sides, and it's just silly to watch them actually do that. All right, so if you look at the stats, oops. That did not work. Okay, that did work. Well, you got more out of the tank destroyers than I thought. The tank destroyers did actually move across the ditch. They moved across the ditch before the light tank did, anyways. The WZ-120 did as well, but again, all of those guys would have, could have potentially made the difference over in that Northwest. But them's the breaks. Oh man, 11 for 31. Yeah, that's not so. That's not so good. Again, a lot of the light tanks, even the RU it's reasonably accurate, but at that distance, the tanks that you're shooting against, particularly the armor tanks, Yeah, I mean you're not going to really do much better than 11 for 31, which is why those really aren't the shots. You're not, as I was saying, well, in the game, like you don't waste your time and energy positioning yourself so that you can get a 500-meter shot on the front of a heavy tank. Like that is not a good use of your 5 minutes. You need to be positioning yourself so you can get shots into the backs of tanks, into the sides of tanks, or create some sort of problem for their defense where now they have to worry about a different flank or something like that. And you just weren't really able to do that at all playing through that middle area there. But GG, nice try.